If you're using Disney Genie Plus here at Walt Disney World, there can be a whole lot of stuff you gotta do right at 7 a.m. You might be wondering, how in the world am I gonna do all these things? Well, my friends, in today's video, we're gonna show you. Let's go do it. Heigh-ho everybody, this is Rob with Ear Scouts coming to you from Disney's Boardwalk Inn. We're actually on vacation this week. Right now we're probably enjoying sunny Arizona, but I wanted to give you guys a quick video while we were away so you didn't have to wait too long for our next video to come out. Today's video, we're gonna be answering a question that we get asked a ton in the comments, especially the ones about Disney Genie Plus, and that is, Rob, you say I gotta do this at 7 a.m., I also gotta do that at 7 a.m. How do I do all this stuff I supposedly gotta do right at 7 a.m., especially if I'm just one person? Well, we're gonna answer that in today's video, but first, I am starving. And we are here at Disney's Boardwalk Inn because it is the location of my favorite place to have breakfast in all of Walt Disney World. Let's grab a seat along the boardwalk at Trattoria al Forno. I actually think Trattoria al Forno is the best kept secret for Disney table service breakfast. Number one, it is a great value. I'm gonna get Al Forno eggs, which is one of my favorite breakfast dishes in all of Disney World. It's gonna be 15 bucks. I have an annual pass holder discount. You could also get a discount if you were a DVC or a cast member. That's gonna bring it down to 13 bucks and change for a table service breakfast that is delicious at Disney World. And look at this view. If you've never had Al Forno eggs before, it's a really unique dish. Our server told us it's actually quite common in Italy. Sadly, I haven't ventured to Italy yet, but it's basically some sausage, some egg, some fresh tomato sauce, and then they give you this crusty bread to dip it. It just all comes together to be this heavenly mix of Italian flavors. Also, they have an amazing iced coffee that you can only get here. Our waiter actually just shared the secret to what makes this iced coffee so good. And I'm telling you, it is the best iced coffee you're gonna have at Disney World. So the way that they do this, first, they have their own specially roasted beans here at Trattoria al Forno that are specifically roasted for making this coffee. They start by making a regular brewed batch of coffee. Then they pour that coffee into a French press with those freshly roasted beans, so it's basically getting brewed twice. Then they pour that over sweet cream with espresso flavored syrup. So it has got so much bold coffee flavor. It is heavenly, it's sweet, it's creamy, it's delicious. This is my favorite. Today's video is all about how to have the perfect start to your Disney World day. And while Trattoria al Forno is the perfect way to start any day, it's actually not what this whole video is about. One of the things we get asked a lot in the comments of all of our different Genie videos, people say, Rob, you're telling me that right at 7 a.m. on the dot, I've got to get in there and I've got to book my very first Lightning Lane. But then you also said over in that video about Guardians of the Galaxy that right at 7 a.m. on the dot, I've got to get my virtual boarding group for Guardians. And by the way, I read online that if I'm staying at a Disney resort, that means I can book my very first individual attraction Lightning Lane at 7 a.m. on the dot. How can I possibly do all of these things all at the exact same moment? Well, the short answer, of course, is that you cannot do it all yourself. You can, however, delegate one or more of those tasks to other people if you've got other folks in your group. But let's assume for right now that you don't have any help. You've got to do this all by yourself. How do you prioritize these things? Well, the best way to think about it is, what are the largest number of people going to be aiming for at the same time? Because that's the thing you've got to focus on first. That's the thing that is going to disappear the quickest. In this case, that's going to be the virtual boarding group. Right now, the virtual boarding group is for Guardians of the Galaxy. My guess is that when Tron opens over at Magic Kingdom in April, it's gonna move over there. But for right now, we're doing Guardians. We're gonna talk about Guardians. Just know if you're here after April, probably going to be Tron at Magic Kingdom. But right at 7 a.m., every single person who is going into the park with the virtual queue, right now Epcot, is going to be aiming for that virtual boarding group, like pretty much everybody. So they're all going to be focused on that one ride. That's going to make that the #1 target that you need to be focused on. The second thing you want to focus on is your Genie Plus Lightning Lane. The reason for that is lots more people are going to have Genie Plus than are going to be staying at a Disney hotel and want to get an individual attraction Lightning Lane for the ride you're trying to book. So with Genie Plus, it's not quite as competitive as getting the virtual boarding group because of course it's spread across all the different rides. Everybody's not aiming for that one, but still it is super competitive, especially for rides like Peter Pan's Flight at Magic Kingdom or Slinky Dog Dash at Hollywood Studios. If you're aiming for one of those big rides, which you probably should be, those are going to go super quick. So you'll definitely want to get that at 7 a.m. So if it's just you and you're doing all of this by yourself, you're going to want to start, #1, by getting that virtual boarding group. #2, you're going to get your Genie Plus Lightning Lane. And #3, if you're trying to get an individual attraction Lightning Lane, you'll be fine to do that after you set up the first 2. There's not really a huge mad rush on that because it's a much more limited group of people. So if you watch lots of our videos, you probably already know how you're going to set up Disney Genie Plus so that you are ready to play what I like to call the Disney Genie slots right there at 7 a.m. I want to tell you about things you can do the night before that will get you prepared so that you don't have quite so much to do first thing in the morning. #1, you probably want to go ahead and have your payment information on file. If you're going to be purchasing Disney Genie Plus, having a credit card stored in the app is going to make that process a little bit quicker. So all you need to do this, go into your profile from the main menu, and then inside your profile, there's a place where you can add your credit card information and store that so that it is ready to go when you want to buy Disney Genie Plus, or maybe you want to buy an individual attraction Lightning Lane. That's where you can put that in there and be all set. The other thing that you're going to want to set up the night before is your friends and family list. This is basically where you're going to have everybody that you're going to ride rides with, book virtual boarding groups with. If you're going to do something with somebody in the next day, you want to go ahead the night before and make sure that they are all in your friends and family list. So this is actually a tab in that same profile. You'll see friends and family. If you don't see the person that you want to add to your list, just go ahead to that Friends and Family tab, and then you're going to see a button that says Add a Guest. Tap on that, and there's a few different ways you can do it. Honestly, the easiest way, if they have My Disney Experience, they have an account already, and they're with you, you can scan their linking code. So just tap on that for scan linking code. It'll give you instructions for how to do that, but basically you just scan something on their phone, and voila, you are linked up. The other thing I do like to do the night before is I like to go ahead, #1, make sure all my devices are charged up, and #2, I like to make sure that my bag is all packed so that I don't have to think about that first thing in the morning and likely forget something. The #1 thing I always have in my Disney bag is this guy. This is one of those power banks. We'll put a link in the description down below to the one that we use. It's an Anchor. What I love about this one, it's got 2 ports on it, and one of them is a USB-C fast charging port. Love this guy, and it is invaluable, especially if you're using Disney Genie Plus. You are all set now for your perfect Disney World day. We're going to actually start our perfect Disney World day by riding Guardians of the Galaxy. We're going to leave you with some footage of that ride. If you enjoyed this video, you learned a few things, please be sure to like this video. Also, subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out. Until next time, don't forget to think happy thoughts, everybody. We'll see you when we get back from Arizona, hopefully with a brand new Disney Genie video. Now let's go ride Guardians.